Newton Hills is about a half-hour drive outside of Sioux Falls, so it's really not very far. It makes a very easy day trip. It's one of the closest state parks to the Sioux Falls area here in South Dakota. Today we're hiking Newton Hills. We're in the trail system here. They have a lot of great trails that are meant just for hikers. No bikes, no horses allowed on this particular trail. It's a wooded area you hike through. Lots of trees, lots of hills, some water features that you have to cross along the way. What we like about Newton Hills is the large oak forest, lots of oak trees, lots of ash trees in this particular forest. It's very hilly too. And this is actually a little unique for this part of South Dakota. Most of South Dakota is just kind of prairie grassland. So to find tree outcroppings like this naturally occurring is a little less common. This trail is actually pretty easy to hike. I wouldn't call it strenuous at all. So you can have people of all ages hiking this trail. Little kids do well on it. Just keep in mind, round trip, kind of keep an eye on how far you're going. It's probably about 2 miles. So if somebody has to use a bathroom or something, there are not bathrooms along the way to stop at. So that's just something to keep in consideration. Newton Hills State Park has, in addition to hiking, also has campground area and day use areas. So you can do day picnicking. They have a wedding area. It's just kind of special event type areas, like picnic shelters where you could bring a whole family out for a birthday party or something. The camp area is really great. There's RV spots that have water and electricity. There's also campsites that just have either nothing or electricity at certain campsites. Most of the South Dakota state parks, as far as camping goes at least, the campsites book up really quickly. In fact, when reservations open 6 months ahead of time or a year ahead of time, you'll find stuff book out. You want to get your reservation early online, otherwise you might be stuck in a less than desirable campsite. The trails themselves are actually a dirt trail system, so there's not wood chips or gravel or pavement to hike on at all. The trail's kind of just been worn by people naturally hiking on it. When there are hilly spots, they have installed features. You can kind of see here. They're kind of like steps, but they're not really steps. They're basically just erosion control to keep the hilly areas from washing out. Makes it easy to walk on it. Newton Hills has gotten extremely popular. Whenever something's extremely popular, you can expect it to be busy, which means plan ahead, show up early so you can get a good parking spot. We had no trouble finding a spot, but we didn't park in the day use area. We came up to the campground area and we found a spot that we know of where you could park. So the day use area was actually full. In fact, people were parking up alongside the road. Plan accordingly. As with anything, the earlier you get there, the better it's going to be. something to be aware of, there is no cell phone service out here, so if you're going to try to pull up a map or something, you could definitely have some trouble with that. But the trail system itself is hard to get lost on. It's basically just a loop. There's markers all along the way. I would say this trail is good for a novice hiker, for a family. Very, very low risk of getting lost out here. There's people everywhere in case you need someone to point you in the right direction too. We're here in the fall, so all the trees are leaves are turning color. They're losing all their leaves. So it's really a beautiful time to be at a place like this. We've been here all different times of the year. We've actually been here even when the weather's been colder and there's been snow on the ground, and it's still a nice hike to enjoy. But as you can see, lots of different colors. There's reds, yellows, and lots of leaves on the ground. So pretty cool. Newton Hills is probably my second favorite state park in the state of South Dakota. Now, to be fair, I haven't been to every single state park. My first would be Custer State Park out in the Black Hills. As far as this side of the state, hands down, this is going to be your best state park. Mainly just because of all the hiking, which I really love to do. The scenery here, there's a mixture of trees, kind of like a forested area, and there's also waterways that you can kind of walk by too, although they're kind of dry right now for whatever reason. On the way back, we took the Augie Trail, which is like a little offshoot of the main trail. It's like a single track and it's very, very steep to the side. It's kind of like you can almost slide off it a little bit. If you are hiking out here, if you're going to consider taking the Augie offshoot, you might want to consider taking a different route if you're not quite as sure-footed. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. See right there? How it's very much like a little single track, and it's actually kind of steep. As you're kind of walking sideways, you can kind of slide and fall off it if you're not too careful. Thankfully it's dry, so it's not slippery or anything though. So there's actually a special campsite area that's totally separate from the RV spot, which is kind of nice because it's private. Kind of see behind me there. Tents only, so you're not going to have noise from air conditioners and things like that running. So there's several vault toilets located all over the camp area. There's also running water type bathrooms too. You can see here, this is the RV area. They're spread out really nicely. You got lots of space for your camper. And like I said, you've got water and you've got electricity, so perfect. You you come to Newton Hills, I recommend doing the Lookout Tower. The cool thing about the Lookout Tower is you get a great view of the rolling hill area. So we're gonna go up there and we're gonna check it out right now. Great view up here. You can see off in the great distance.